What's good, YouTubers? Week 5, Day 4, 219 pounds, 99.9 kg. As you can tell, the weight cut is going as planned, and that should be met with extreme sarcasm. I'm not going to sit here and harp about the diet. I mean, I know it's been off a point, so whatever. We have to tighten it up. Safety bar squats here, pause squats 315 pounds. I just took the liberty of skipping titles on mostly everything. I started the day out working out in the Addy Power shoes you see here. Something felt a little bit off about them. I guess I'm just so used to squatting in the Dre Crafts now that it is my preferred shoe for squatting. So after the second set of pause safety bar squats, I threw on the Dre Crafts. Now I put these comparison lines in here, or bar path lines, for absolutely no reason, because the safety bar squat isn't like a regular squat, so it's more of like a front squat or a high bar squat. So the Addy Powers actually would be a more ideal shoe in this particular instance, as you can see by the bar path. But at the same time, you'll have to take into account that the third set was also a more fatigued set for me. The safety bar is a really weird thing to squat with. Normally, you see I have the handles outward like that, and I found that it's normally best if you get stuck to just pull down on the handles, and it'll move the bar into a more optimal position, or puts the weight over your feet, or it does something. And I found that has made the safety squat bar pause squats a little bit more tolerable. Here's Brandon Escobedo. Scooby-Doo, I don't even know how to say his last name, doing some deficit work. There was at least about 30 seconds of him trying to bend over and put those straps on, so I've cut it short. I like to include footage of other people in the gym just doing stuff, just because it's fun, and besides it's boring watching me. Next up, we have pause deadlifts, 5x4 at 380 pounds. Again, I think I had previously mentioned that these got bumped up in my training. This is the first time filming. Well, not necessarily the first time, but one of the few times that I've started filming with my new Sony a6000 camera. And it's got like a couple of pancake fisheye lenses on it. So I have the camera relatively close to me, so that's why you might see a little bit of vignetting around the corners, and a strong focus in the middle, and sometimes maybe some overexposure. But I'm still playing with the settings. I think this particular footage taken was 30 frames per second, and the day 5 footage that you'll see a little bit later was at 60 frames a second. So other than that, I think the pause deadlifting went pretty well. As you can tell, it's pretty explosive for the lockout, which is ideal. I did notice a little bit of downward motion when I was trying to pause, but I was trying to get through these fairly quickly because the knurl on this bar is fucking gruesome. If anybody's ever used a Rogue Fitness Ohio bar, then you would know. So week 5, day 5, this is the it's mainly like an accessory day. I wouldn't call it like a full-on lifting day. So I'm supposed to do 10 doubles of power cleans at an 8.5 RPE. And because I've been so out of practice with Olympic lifting, or weightlifting, is the politically correct term if you're a snob. And I like to build up to like a heavy single before I get into my working sets. And it's not like trying to be a gym hero or anything like that. It's basically just to familiarize myself with the motor patterns and getting familiar with all of the movements and such again. And so I go through the motions with a bar by itself, just to to work on patterns, stepping out, etc., pressing, and then we move along to the actual work. One thing that I've always found as a weakness doing power cleans is that you're not supposed to end up doing like the splits to catch a power clean. You're supposed to be able to stop yourself from going into a full clean. And it's either, you know, one or the other. Like, it's either going to be a really high caught power clean, or it's going to be a full clean with me. Like, I have not studied or practiced the mechanics enough to catch it anywhere in between, and that is why you normally either see me step really wide while doing this, or you know, I catch it really high, and that will cause me to catch or miss some lifts. So dicking around with some high pulls, and then just you know, again, working on mechanics, fast elbows, etc. And I really wanted to focus more on my power catch, if that makes any sense. It's not something, like I said, this isn't my main focus in lifting anymore. So you know, I'm not even as strong or as explosive as I used to be. You'll see that I'll make 3 attempts to do a 255 clean, and I miss all 3 attempts, whereas my best clean last I attempted was at 184, 85 pound body weight, and it was 265. And given as strong as I am now, due to the other powerlifting, you would think there'd be some carryover to the cleans, but the cleans are more technique based, cleans and snatches, more than it is strength based. I mean, strength is definitely helpful, but if your technique is shitty, there's only so far that the other strength is going to take you. Hi, Nadeem. So rather than you know, being like some kind of braggart, like, oh, this is what's on the bar, like anyone gives a shit, it's like, if you want, you can pause the video and take your time to add it up. There's 245s, 410s, 215s, and a couple of 5s on the edges, and now we got some 2.5s added to what I was just talking about. And again, really the main focus is just reinforcing my motor patterns. I noticed that my cleans looked really sloppy in a lot of the other videos, doing that really wide split thing that you just saw there. And I really just want to work on being able to bring my body down halfway. This also only happens to be the only platform that we have with a wood center, which is also ideal for cleans and jerks, and mostly Olympic lifting. However, this platform is a piece of shit. And I won't be the first one to tell you. Anyone that's had any weightlifting experience will tell you that this platform is unstable as shit. And apparently it was probably, I don't know, it was just, you know, Bart didn't really know what he was looking for when he was buying stuff for the gym. He just figured, hey, this, you know, has attachments for bands, I can do overload work for deadlifts, and it served its purpose, but people have graduated to the platform behind me for that stuff. So now that we've missed those 3 YOLO cleans, we'll move along to the actual work that we're supposed to be doing. And I decided to make the weight a lot lighter this week, so I'm only doing 180 pounds here. I've been doing about 205, 210, 215, and a couple of weeks ago 225 for this, but I really wanted to focus on just the grip aspect of things and explosiveness. So as you can see there, I was in a pretty bad position for that second one, and so I've been doing just like one power clean, one hang clean for today. And then we have the chest supported rows, 3 sets of 4 to 6. I forget what the RPE is supposed to be. I decided to try 100-pound dumbbells instead of trying to build up to anything, and this was tough as shit. I got all the sets at 6 actually. I had to put straps on for the 3rd set. It was totally a grinder. You can see my legs are like fully contracted, and sometimes even when I pull, I lose my footing and end up turning it into some weird seal row hybrid. And last but not least, I have audio muted on this footage because YouTube will probably bang me for copyright, or whatever the case, for the music playing in the background. And these are Turkish get-ups. This is a 20 kg bell, so that's like, I think, 45 pounds. And the main focus with a Turkish get-up is basically to keep that left foot on the floor, whatever your anchor foot is. You don't want that popping up and doing like some momentous push to finish the movement. You want to be explosive, lean on the anchor elbow, and then kind of roll out of it. And you'll see that the left foot kind of pops up on one of these. That one right there. So the form started to break down a bit. I was a little bit tired. I don't know if you can see much of the clock, but I was at the gym for like 4 hours. I hadn't eaten anything at all. I grabbed a little snack at 7-Eleven and a Monster. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this video, dudes. I'm just going to go ahead and kill the commentary. And I got a new blog post up on the blog. So if you want to, or if you give a shit about how nutrition is going to be for the week, feel free to check it out.